You are watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Seibel. There's been a decline in blood donations here at the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center. They say they're seeing a 30% decline in blood donations. Now they're urging the community to come out and donate. The organization emphasizes the importance of making blood donations, especially during flu and cold seasons. Each donation can save 3 lives, and the blood is used for various needs, including supporting cancer patients. This is why they stress the civic responsibility of helping out one another.
This is huge. You know, we're needing individuals to really grasp the understanding that we, each and every one of us, have the ability to help each other. And if we can do that, it will go a long way.
They continue to encourage healthy individuals not to self-defer, but to consult their experts consult health experts to determine their eligibility. To learn more about these opportunities, visit southtexasblood.org or visit the center at 6106 North Navarro Street. A local man had his probation revoked and he's headed to prison for 10 years. He was on a probation in May of 2020 for evading arrest case. 34-year-old Chase Ashton Jaimez originally received a 10-year probation sentence in April of 2022. However, he violated the terms of probation in August of 2023. That's when he was arrested on child endangerment charges and under the influence of an unknown substance. He was in a vehicle in the parking lot of the Victoria Mall along with a young child in 100-degree heat. J.K. Rowling, Stephen King, and even William Shakespeare share a characteristic with a Victoria West High School senior. They're all authors. 25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick spoke to Grace Palmer about her experience as a writer. Adarius, did you read it?
I read a little of her book, Saved My Life. I won't spoil the ending, but the book follows themes you would not expect from a teenage writer. Grace depicted friendship, betrayal, and death throughout Saved My Life. The book follows a group of friends whose lives change after a car crash, government recruitment, and a kidnapping. She gave a sneak peek of what happens in the 16th chapter.
I tried to scream for help, but he put his hand over my mouth. He growled and hit me over the head. I collapsed to the ground. He leaned down and grabbed my arms while I kicked at him. Then he pinned my legs. He pulled back his fist, and I knew he was going to knock me out. The last thing I saw before he hit me was a malicious gleam in his eyes.
Whew, that's jarring. Grace says the idea came from her faith in God.
The theme of someone sacrificing themselves to save somebody else, like Jesus did for me, is in my book. And so that's kind of where the idea of like betrayal, like we betrayed Jesus, our loving Father, by sinning. And then like redemption that happens in the book is how Jesus redeems us.
In writing this story, Grace did not realize she became a story as well.
It's like
a high
crazy.
school student doubling as an author.
Like all these people that have bought my book have like read things that I've written, and it's just like crazy to think about.
Her family supported her through the process of writing the book. However, the book was a surprise to many.
And so it was just like, oh, by the way, guys, I'm publishing a book. And they were like, what? Like, you didn't tell us? Like, how long have you been doing this?
Grace has sold over 130 copies of Save My Life. She does not plan to stop until she's a traditionally published author. And she knows she can do it because...
And my parents have just always taught me that I can do, like, anything I set my mind to.
You can grab Save My Life from Target, Amazon, and Barnes & Nobles. Visit our website for more information on ordering the book. Adam, back to you.
All right, thanks, Adarius. And Trey, it's probably perfect weather to read a book because it looks like we might have some rain. So maybe stay indoors and read a local Victoria West senior who wrote that book.
Exactly. She is very, very impressive. Look forward to reading the book. And definitely, Adam, you're on the right track. Kind of staying inside for the next few days and reading a good book will be a good idea because the rain is headed our way. On the outside currently, we have cloudy skies, a little bit of light rain falling already in Victoria. 45 degrees currently, still got the chill in the air. And we'll see the almanac for today. A high today was 47 degrees, low 42. Way under normal for our normal high and low. Catching up with this number right here in a pretty big way. So we'll talk about that. And the flooding potential could be with that a little bit later on in the forecast. Back to you, Adam.
All right, thanks, Trey. And then across the country, a warm-up is on the way as we head into the work week, but millions of people across the country still dealing with severe winter weather, including snow, ice, and frigid temperatures. The dangerous wintry conditions have now been blamed for at least 67 deaths.
Snow, ice, and dangerously cold temperatures continue to grip much of the country. This drone video capturing the icy landscape in Milwaukee, wind chills well below zero. Hard freeze alerts Sunday morning across parts of the South, with wind chill alerts as far south as Fort Myers, Florida.
Every state in the U.S. has at least one location below freezing, except Hawaii, and they're awfully close. Mauna Kea Observatory, 35 degrees.
Northwest Indiana hit with heavy bands of snow. 36 inches fell in Michigan City.
Can I say crazy, but with the Capitals?
Every city department that has a plow is working to clear the roads.
It's just been a team effort, and we're just trying to get everybody ready for Monday.
Bottled water distributed in Memphis, Tennessee, where a boil water advisory is in effect after dozens of water main breaks.
Now, we've discovered and repaired 36 water main leaks so far, and more than 2,000 leaks in homes and businesses.
In Buffalo, Bills fans once again shoveling snow at Highmark Stadium ahead of the AFC divisional playoff against Kansas City. The frigid temperatures forming icicles on this iconic fountain in New York City's Bryant Park, though many are still braving the cold. In Philadelphia, the bitter cold was perfect for the city's ice festival, complete with ice sculptures and skating. This young man with some advice on how to stay warm.
Snow pants and ski jackets.
And hot chocolate.
We are not staying warm at all, actually.
The bitter cold weather starts to ease up a bit in the coming days as the pattern flips to bring in some above average temperatures. Though it is still January, so above average could still mean much of the country will be in the 30s and 40s. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Presidio La Bahia hosted their annual School of the Soldados in Goliad Saturday afternoon. This event happens the same time every year, just before the reenactment of the Goliad massacre in March. The purpose of the reenactment is to highlight the rich history of Texas. One man involved has participated in these events for 22 years. He says he does this to share both sides of the war.
Being from here and then also finding out that I had relatives who were from Mexico and that connection. So why I started doing this was because I really wanted to tell both sides of every story.
Now the Texas Historical Commission and Presidio La Bahia will host the Goliad Massacre. During the Texas Revolution in 1836, the Goliad Massacre saw about 400 surrendered Texan soldiers executed by Mexican forces led by General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, a tragic event in the fight for Texas independence. Police in Ganado need your help in finding the owner of this truck. They say the owner of that truck's involved in multiple burglaries over the past few weeks. The truck they're looking for is a Dodge Ram 2500 with a headback rack, a black toolbox, and a brush guard with lettering on the driver's side door. If you have any information, call the Ganado Police Department 361-771-2800, and callers can remain anonymous. Grab your cell phone to scan this QR code. That's our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. Watch us anytime, anywhere, and get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls. Learn about our ongoing contest and submit news tips, videos, and photos. Stay with us. Coming up next on 25 News Now at 5:30. Ron DeSantis has dropped out of the race for president.
Take a look at this in Victoria. Currently a little bit of light drizzle falling. We're coming in from the south and southwest already. Seeing a good shield of light to moderate rainfall that will take us through the rest of the night. Then heavier thunderstorms likely for your day tomorrow and continuing for a pretty good while after that. We'll give you the timeline coming up.
Now to the race for the White House. Just 2 days ago, before the New Hampshire primary, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announcing he is suspending his presidential campaign.
Tonight, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who had been trailing behind former President Donald Trump and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, dropping out of the presidential race. The decision coming ahead of Tuesday's consequential primary in New Hampshire. DeSantis making the announcement in this video posted to X.
We don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign.
DeSantis, who had been stumping in South Carolina weeks ahead of voting in that state, has been more reflective over his campaign over the past few days, but told our Rachel Scott this on Friday.
As long as I'm in the hunt, that tells me that I have that I'm seeing a pathway. The minute I don't, then I'm not just going to do this for just for my health.
His comments drawing speculation that he was ready to hang it up in New Hampshire. Nikki Haley wishing DeSantis well.
I want to say, he ran a great race. Having said that, it's now one fella and one lady left.
And Ron is dropping out, and in doing so, he endorsed us.
Now, the two-person race that Nikki Haley and Donald Trump had always framed is officially a showdown, with the former president and his former UN ambassador sharpening their attacks.
The radical left Democrats are supporting Nikki Haley.
What do we know about Donald Trump? He proved when he was president, he's good at breaking things. Well, the country's broken.
A new CNN University of New Hampshire poll has Donald Trump topping Nikki Haley by double digits. In order to gain ground Tuesday, Haley will look to moderates and independents who could swing the state her way. Donald Trump, meanwhile, leaning on his momentum from his Iowa win, looking to tighten his grip on the lead here in New Hampshire by way of his loyal base.
I believe in him. I believe in his policies.
And DeSantis says though he's had disagreements with Trump in the past, he's now endorsing him. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
So that brings us to your viewer poll this evening. Are you glad that Ron DeSantis dropped out of the race for president? Let's take a look at these results here. It looks 61% say yes and 39% say no. So not quite an even split, but go ahead and come to our website, crossroadstoday.com/vote, to participate to see what you and your neighbors are saying. Now to the NFL, and one Kansas City fan who already counts as a winner thanks to the Chief tight end, Travis Kelce.
Oh, yes. 79-year-old Gloria White will be cheering on her hometown Kansas City Chiefs tonight. But there's a certain player that she's holding a special place for, number 87.
I've been a diehard of them for a long time.
Travis Kelce and his foundation, 87 and Running, came to the rescue when Gloria reached out to a local nonprofit for help.
It was an extensive project.
Gloria's husband died 3 years ago, and she has been in a wheelchair, but wanted to stay in her home of 56 years.
I'm just so thankful that they have been here for me.
Scott Hickox and his team at Rebuilding Together Kansas City help residents age in place. Last year alone, repairing over 125 Kansas City homes by making critical repairs and safety modifications.
He's the one that took care of you, right?
Yes, he did. Love you.
Gloria getting a new hot water heater, a kitchen sink, a porch rebuild, a new roof, and key railings so she can easily move around. Gloria, a star track and field athlete herself, knows a thing or two about grit, even making it to the Olympic trials in the 1960s. Grateful to her hometown hero.
I would like to say that I thank God for Travis and this foundation. It has brought many tears to me of joy, not of sadness.
And Rebuilding Together Kansas City says they will continue to check in on Gloria just to make sure her house is safe. Now, as for Gloria, she has her own 87 Travis Kelce jersey sitting on her couch. She says no one will touch it. It will not move until they come back with the Super Bowl win. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise, and you can submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
All right, here I am. Let's see the rain coming in the south and southwest, light to moderate so far. That should take us through the rest of the evening time. A lot headed our way. Storm system headed our way from the west. combine to give us some heavy rain potential tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up in your forecast. And good evening, everyone. Trey Mining here on this Sunday evening. An eventful next couple of days weather-wise for us coming up. First of all, let's start with the humidity levels. They're way up there now, 80-90%. Remember this time yesterday I was doing the weather right here, and they were about 30 to 40%. So the humidity has returned. A lot of moisture to work with, and that's going to aid in giving us some widespread rainfall, really beginning some tonight, mainly in the early morning hours tomorrow. More on that here in a little bit. Future temperatures kind of mild because the humidity has returned. We'll see temperatures in the 40s and 50s and 60s, even near 70 coming up for the majority of the week this week coming up. So that's definitely a positive if you don't like the cold weather like me. We're having a better temperature scheme around here, but we have to deal with the rainfall. That's going to be the majority of the weather this week around this part. We're seeing the clouds have returned to all of the Texas coast, including Victoria. Light rain near the Rio Grande Valley, heading up to Corpus Christi, and now moving into the crossroads in the south and southwest. Have this moisture in place, and the bigger storm out west in the western parts of the state of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, headed this way, kind of a slow mover. So this is really going to amplify that instability in the air, work on that moisture, and make it move up skyward, build clouds and thunderstorms, and give us good rain chances. Some of those on the heavy side, not really looking for anything really severe, but the heavy rainfall is something we need to be concerned about, and we'll keep you informed right here. Take a look at these totals here. This is just one model run. It'll be light to moderate rain throughout the majority of the evening tonight. And then we really catch up in the early morning hours through your day tomorrow as well. You have anywhere from 3 to 4 inches in the rain bucket, even by your time we get to your Monday evening. So please be weather aware. This has caused some flooding. More than likely, if this falls in a pretty good amount in a short amount of time, like we forecast it will. And that's just the beginning. We're seeing high pressure gave us a cool air moving off the east coast, and storm system number 1 is moving along with it as well. And here's what we're dealing with moving in the state of Texas, and we'll be to about like Wednesday night or Thursday before it finally gets to the east, allowing a drying wind to come on through. We just have to get to that point because the rainfall chance looks pretty high, at least 100% to 90% for the next few days. And check this out right here. This is the future tracker model, and like we have right now, we have the light rain coming on through, and that'll take us through the rest of the time period. But of a good amount of thunderstorm activity, some of these producing very heavy rainfall you see right here. They'll take us through the early morning hours tomorrow. So I'd be concerned about some flooding around here, of course, with rainfall like this. It's moving through over the rather short amount of time, dropping heavy rainfall, so please be weather aware. We'll have more on sunrise tomorrow morning to get you through and tell you what you need to know as the weather prediction moves on through. We'll have a little bit of a break, then more rain to follow as we work through Tuesday, Wednesday, even into Thursday. So forecast for Port Lavaca, 56 degrees by the time you wake up early tomorrow morning, very early, 1 a.m. or so, probably a little bit later than that. Thunderstorms likely throughout the morning hours into the rest of the time period. A good 90 to 100% chances everywhere you go. Cuero on the same boat, 50 degrees by 9 a.m. and 50s for the daytime high and around the region there in Cuero as well. And we're looking at the Victoria, staying in the 40s to 50 degrees with cloudy skies and rainfall chances increasing. So we'll take a look at this. Alert day is coming up for today, tomorrow, and more than likely on Wednesday with those high rainfall chances coming through. Be weather aware these days as well. We'll keep you informed right here. Clearing out a little bit, some light rain chances, but finally see some sun by the time we get to the end of the week into the weekend. So hang on, be careful out there, and we'll keep you informed. And check this out right here. Another way to keep you informed is to scan this barcode right there, the QR code. That'll take you to a website. You can cross Roads Today website. Stay with us, news, weather, and sports. Keep up to date and weather aware, and it's free of charge. Zach, take it away.
Well, it brings me no joy to tell you that the Houston Texans season is over. Hear from D'Amico and CJ Stroud coming up in sports. Houston season is over. They fall to the one-seeded Baltimore Ravens 34-10, but the game was a lot closer than that. You thought Houston had a real chance when Steven Sims took this punt return all the way to the house to tie it up at 10 apiece, but Houston missed a field goal to take the lead going into the half, and when the second half began, they just could not get the Ravens off the field. Lamar Jackson didn't really hurt Houston with his arm, but they had no answer for his feet. He averaged over 9 yards a carry. The Ravens added a few late scores to blow it open. Year over, but the foundation has been laid. The Texans turning the page to the future.
It's not a moral victory of just being here. It's not what we, set out to do. But proud of our team. This team accomplished a lot this year, and just looking forward to the future.
Our future's bright, man, but these type of losses suck, That's a great Ravens team over there, and they deserve to win. And it's tough to just, get embarrassed like that, but definitely I think our future definitely is bright.
And Stroud didn't flat out say that this year was a failure, but he did say in college not winning it all was a failure. Obviously holds himself to high standards, but that's going to lead us to your viewer poll. What grade do you give the Houston Texans? You can vote from an A through an F. 90% of people have it at an A, and I think it absolutely was an A. They brought excitement back to Houston. When Vegas had the odds for who was going to win this amount of games, they had the Houston Texans winning 5. They ended up winning 11 in total if you count the playoff game against the Browns. Now, another team whose season has ended, probably much to the delight of Dallas fans, the Green Bay Packers. They are done. On this kick return, Keyshawn Nixon almost ran it back. He's kind of fumbled. The Pack get very lucky to recover that, and they scored a few plays later to not only take the lead, but they go for 2 to make it a full touchdown lead. Now, late in the fourth, Green Bay nursing a 4-point lead. Big kick to make it a full touchdown. No good. The Niners would take the lead on the next drive, so Green Bay needing to get in field goal range. Jordan Love gets picked on that awful throw. Niners moving on to the NFC title game. They're going to get the winner of this game right here. Lions, Bucks. Goff slings it to the back of the end zone to give Detroit the lead. Oklahoma Sooner great Baker Mayfield hits the star from Galveston, Texans. Mike Evans down at the 1-yard line. Tampa would score on the next play. But final in Detroit, the Lions will play in their second ever NFC title game, hanging on 31 30-23 over Tampa. By the way, we'd love to see Mike Evans in a Houston Texan jersey next year. Bring him home. Let's go get a title in Houston. That's it for your sports, Adam. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Zach. Stay with us. Coming up, the iconic Polynesian voyaging canoe Hokula sailed to Lahaina Saturday along with other voyaging canoes to honor Maui's people. We want to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus, which you can find on your connected TV, which is on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. The iconic Polynesian voyaging canoe sailed to Lahaina Saturday along with other voyaging canoes. This is to honor Maui's people. The canoe left one of the islands at 3:30 a.m. and arrived off Lahaina about 3 hours later. Kala Tonka, who is from Lahaina, was captain for the arrival ceremony. Along the way, special members of the canoe Ohana jumped off the canoe, including a waterman, Uncle Buffalo Kian Lana. He and others were crew members for that first long-distance voyage to Tahiti in 1976. They say that presence brings hope to the people and that they can sail forward despite adversity. It's been almost 6 months since a first firestorm leveled the town, which killed at least 100 people and left thousands of residents homeless. So it looks like recovery efforts are underway.
You know, I have actually been there to Maui. Lahaina, stayed there.
Oh, wow, you've been to
Hawaii?
Hawaii.
When I was a kid, yes. And it's a really beautiful place.
Yeah. Well,
it's really sad what happened there, but hopefully they can get back to where they were.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, it looks like a beautiful place to be.
Exactly. It sure
Take me and Zach with you next time.
I will. We'll have a trip planned.
All right.
In the meantime, we got to go through this weather coming through tomorrow morning, especially heavy rainfall. So please be weather aware tomorrow. In the morning, it looks like it'll start 100% chances for your day on Monday. So it's going to rain, folks, and going to continue for Tuesday and Wednesday, slacking off by the end of the week. So we got alert days for all those days. Be weather aware and stay safe. We'll keep you informed right here.
All right. Well, thank you, Trey. Zach, I'm really sorry to see what happened with the Texans.
Oh, you know what? It's tough, man, but this year was a dream season. Vegas had the odds listed at 5 wins for Houston before the year started. You know, I told everybody the Texans were going to win the AFC South, and I was glad to see that come true. So they laid the foundation for next year. Exciting.
Next year's the year. Well, thanks, guys. And thank